offense, which I do. The Saints and Rams game did not disappoint yesterday. The Saints built a 21-point lead in the first half behind Drew Brees and 3 touchdowns from Alvin Kamara. Jared Goff threw for nearly 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, including one to Cooper Kupp in the fourth quarter to tie it up at 35. After taking a 3-point lead, the Saints sealed the win late in the fourth with a 72-yard touchdown pass from Brees to Michael Thomas. And a great celebration. New Orleans is now 7-1, while the Rams dropped to 8-1. D'Angelo Hall is still with us. D'Angelo, what did yesterday tell you about the NFC?
Well, that the Saints and the Rams are the cream of the crop, but it's still hope. It's still hope for a lot of teams. You know, you take my Redskins for instance, and they didn't quite perform the way we would have liked them to perform. But that division's still wide open. You know, you see Dallas sitting right there. They've made good moves in in acquiring a guy like Amari Cooper, who I think is going to help them out a lot. The Eagles are still sitting right there. I think the Rams are the only division that's really running away with it. Even the Saints, the Carolina Panthers have 2 losses, and they're kind of up and down too. They came to Washington, didn't play very well. Washington beat those guys, and then they go to Baltimore, who had the #1 defense, and just run up and down the field. And so the NFC to me is wide open. Obviously, the Saints and the Rams are the 2 teams that are, like I said before, kind of staking their claim for supremacy. But it's still wide open. There's still a lot of teams. Even Green Bay, coming off this loss, even Green Bay still has a chance. Because those teams that I see that are right there on the line, Skip, they got 4 losses. They got 5 losses. So you still have a chance, because the only team who's really running away with it or with their division is the Rams.
Oh, I forget about Green Bay because they got the best quarterback in history.
That's unnecessary. We're not talking about that. We're talking about NFC teams.
NFC as a whole, it's still wide open, I feel, for a lot of teams. If they can, even the Falcons, the game scared me because I think the Falcons are a better team than they've played. And I said, man, if they come into Washington and win, they have a chance to go on a little bit of a run. Their defense hasn't been playing very well. They're not healthy. They're banged up. And so if that team can continue to do what they do, man, the Falcons got a chance to keep going and keep winning games.
And for me, Skip, the NFC is loaded. New Orleans, and if you look at them, with the exception of Carolina, everybody have these dynamic offenses. New Orleans, the Rams, Minnesota, the Falcons. Now, if the Falcons can play what we call a teaspoon of defense, because they offensively,
they're amazing.
Man, when they go to that 3 wide receiver set with Julio and Ridley and Sanu, and you can still run the ball with Ito Smith and Tevin Coleman, and Hooper is a very good tight end, and Matt Ryan is dealing. Matt Ryan is dealing. But those 2 big dogs, New Orleans and the Rams, they're explosive. They can hit you in a wave. Cam is playing unbelievable football. We're not talking about him because Drew Brees has been so phenomenal. Jared Goff and the Rams have been so phenomenal. We've kind of forgotten about Cam, but he quietly has this team. I think they're 6-2. They're right there in this thing, and they play New Orleans again. The Eagles, I believe, coming off their bye, they're about to take off. There's a lot to be determined in that division because they got the Cowboys twice, they got Washington twice. So we're going to find out within the next month, Skip, who's for real and who's pretending. But the NFC is loaded. Now the Rams, when they get to lead back, Wade's going to have to make a decision. The Rams going to have to make a decision, Skip. I know how Wade wants to play defense. He was my head coach. He's my defensive coordinator for a number of years. But Marcus Peters won Defensive Player of the Year. He went to the Pro Bowl playing a style, which means he's a cluing cornerback. He likes to play off and see it develops in front of him, and he'll jump something. If he's playing one and he sees 2 trying to sneak out into an out route, he gonna jump it. Now, he might give up a big play, but he can't play this style of football, Skip. He's not a press corner, and you're taking all of his confidence away. And he's looking at, man, I'm not this bad. And he's looking at, okay, I'm gonna make 12 million. Now I'm down to 11 million. Now I'm down to 10. Now he's going into his money.
And he reminds me so much of Asante Samuel. You talk about a guy being able to play off coverage and read quarterbacks, read routes, and kind of use his mind and that route recognition to make plays. Shannon's absolutely right. Marcus Peters is not trying to go up there and fight you and press, but you can see he's trying. He's trying to do exactly what they want him to do, and in doing that, he's not looking very good. And I've been in that situation where coaches wanted me to play this way, and I'm like, Coach, I want to play off. That's how I get the ball. That's how I see. You know, I'm not a great corner coach. I'm a great football player. I need to be able to use all my tools to be able to be great at what I do. And so to be forced to go up there and play something, one, that you're not 100% comfortable doing, and two, that you're not really good at doing, that's tough, man. That's a tough pill to swallow.
The other guy that did that and got ate up, Nnamdi Asomugha.
Yep. He left.
He was killing in Oakland.
Yep.
He go to Philly,
and they want you straight press man a certain way.
and the next thing you know, he's out the league.
Yep.
But he got a nice looking wife though. But that's another thing. Lydia Pope is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So the Asante Samuel reference made me flash back to the interception he dropped that would have won Tom Brady the first Eli Super Bowl. Am I right about that?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. That hurt for you to bring him up, but you were right about that. So, before the year, I picked the New Orleans Saints, as did my partner across the table, to win the NFC. But unlike my partner, I'm still on the bandwagon because my partner's jumped off several times because I picked the Saints to win at Ravens and I picked them to win at Minnesota. You did not.
I did not.
And now you're still not quite. You got 1 foot on, but you're keeping your foot free just in case the Panthers take off.
I picked them to get to and win the Super Bowl. I didn't say they were going to be 15-1 or 13-3 to do it.
You know what? Speaking of 15-1, I think they got a shot at 15-1. That's how much I like them.
No.
They are playing what is ranked as the toughest closing schedule of all the contenders in the National Football League. And yet I look down at Cincinnati, they can win that. Eagles home, yep, they can win that. Atlanta on a Thursday night, yep, they can win that. New Orleans at Dallas, that's probably pretty tough.
Yeah, they'll win that one for sure.
At Bears, this team can win on the road. I think they can win that. This is the only one I don't think they can win at Panthers on Monday night. That's tough.
I mean, Bears on the road, you might skip it. You know, it might be minus.
I don't know if they're going to Cincinnati next week and win.
Okay.
With no AJ Green, you think Cincinnati can beat it without AJ?
Man, Cincinnati's going to play inspired football, man.
Then they
AJ Green.
They have to finish New Orleans at
They
home,
play defense.
Steelers and Panthers at home. So they got Panthers 2 the last 3 weeks.
And they got Falcons again, right?
Yep, they got Atlanta.
On a Thursday night. Yep. So the point is, it's tough, but I think this team is rolling because this team is balanced. For the first time in a long, long time, they are balanced. You pointed out yesterday, they did run it 34 times. They had to throw it 36 because it became somewhat of a shootout.
Right.
But still, 34-36, that's not exactly Sean Payton, Drew Brees kind of football.
Yeah.
And what did they do when they went to Baltimore and then to Minnesota? They ran it a combined 68 times to 54 passes in those 2 road wins. Is that New Orleans football that we used to? No, that's not what they used to do. I mean, usually you have to go all the way back to their Super Bowl year to see them balance like this.
Well, the thing is that what Sean Payton does is that when you're on the road, crowd noise become effective, and you don't want to get your quarterback hitting the ball, get out. So let's run it. And especially, he would have preferred to run it yesterday. But Michael Thomas was cooking Peters so bad, it's like, hey, Drew, just call whatever and look for Peters. Because they couldn't do anything with Kamara out of the backfield because that's a matchup nightmare. You put your linebacker or your safety try to guard him, or your slot or your nickel corner try to guard him. That's a mismatch. And then Michael Thomas is getting whatever he wants. He's eating. Ben Watson is like 6 months younger than me. He's cooking them. I mean, come on, man.
He was.
At some point in time, you got to skip the way, and D.R., you know this. At some point in time, you got to take something away. If you let the offense get whatever they want, whenever they want it, you can't get off the field.
Yep.
So Michael Thomas is eating. Ben Watson is eating. Kamara is eating. And now they turn around and hand the ball off and they get 5, 6, 7 a clip. How you going to win a ball game? Especially after you've gotten down.
Okay.
But give the Rams credit for getting back into the ball game. Michael Thomas could have helped them out. You don't want a team to get the ball to the 42. But the Saints are going to, they got a tough schedule. They're not finishing 15-1. That's not going to happen.
Well, how about 14-2?
13-3.
How about 14-2 and the Rams also lose another game to go 14-2 and all of a sudden the Saints got a home field in the NFC Championship game?
I think of all the
Who
teams,
wins that game?
I think of all the teams, the Saints' home field is more important than any of the rest of them. Because the Rams getting home field, because remember, Skip, Aaron Rodgers was on the sideline telling the crowd to get up out here at the Coliseum.
Well, it was because there were more Green Bay fans.
That's my point. And you look at Minnesota. I mean, they've already gone to Minnesota and won in Minnesota. So New Orleans is a trap.
Yeah, it's home field.
Especially come playoff time. That place can get definite. This team has come a long way. since giving up the 430-plus yards to Fitzmagic on opening Sunday.
That is true. So, are the Rams going to lose again because they got Seattle at home? I don't think. I know Seattle.
They'll be Kansas City and Mexico City.
Kansas City. I don't know.
That might be a 51-48 ball game, Skip.
Yeah. There's something about the Rams I don't buy. Just something about it, and I don't know why.
You don't buy them because their defense is, to a man, their defense is supposed to be better than it shows. They show flashes by Aaron Donald and some of those pass rushes getting pressure and the big plays that they're able to get as far as turnovers, but they don't consistently stop people.
Okay, what is that defense stocked with? Extremely talented players who don't have the highest football character to me. They've shown flashes of being bad actors in the past. And if you put enough of them together, then somehow it's not going to rise and shine when you need it to rise and shine.
The Rams know what they are because it's reported they tried to make a play for Jadeveon Clowney. Right. They tried to make a play for Jared Hughes, the Buffalo pass rusher. They set it on Dante Fowler because they're like, we got to get some edge presence because, look, we can get some push in the pocket, but the guy just slides left or slide right, and he's home free. We need somebody that's going to force him to step up in the suit, step up in the Donald, and put pressure because on the back end, we can't hold up like we once could.
Fowler made his presence known in the second half. He had a couple of...
And the thing, and the Rams saying, look, we got Jared Goff on this rookie contract. This year, next year, we going for it. Because Jared Goff going to want $35 million, Skip. And when you pay a guy $35 million, you can't pay a whole lot of other people. Plus, you got Todd Gurley making big bucks. Brandon Cooks making big bucks. You just paid Aaron Donald a farm and a moon.
So, unlike Shannon Sharpe, I like the Saints.
Oh, my goodness.
I like the Saints.
I just picked them to win the Super Bowl.
Well, but you slide on and off.
No.
You're like covering your bet.
No, you want me to say, oh, they're going to be 15-1 and get to the Super Bowl. I said they're going to get to the Super Bowl, they're going to win. So if they're 13-3,
you're making a case for Carolina. You kind of like the Panthers.
No, the question was about the NFC.
Okay, so?
Oh, the Carolina and the NFC.
You should be slam dunk Saints. Over.
So are Carolina, are they not in play?
I don't know. I just took a stand again. I took it before the year. I took it now.
Okay, you can take it. But the question, so only the New Orleans Saints are in the NFC.
Well, I just like them to win it. I like the way they're playing football. I even like the way they're playing clutch defense.
So we learned nothing about the NFC yesterday, even though Carolina...
It's not great.
I still got the Rams, man. Look, the Rams were down 21 points and fought back. Like, that to me, you'll learn more about your team doing that than you will, I think, a lot of things. And it's early, man. This team needed to lose. They needed to lose because, I kind of saw something where, Sean Payton kind of has his guys, you eating the cheese or something, or, you reading the headlines. And so a lot of those Ram guys probably are reading the headlines a little bit. They think they're a little better than they are. This is one of those humbling experiences where, especially as a secondary, when you let a receiver catch
over 2 bills.
12 receptions for 211 yards. If that doesn't motivate you and get you locked in, it ain't much that's gonna do that for you. And so, I just know this Rams defense to a man are better than what we saw. And I know if they had to play again, it would be a different Rams defense would come out there to play.
Well, maybe they'll get another crack.
I think they will. And I don't think
the Rams, both of these coaches are gamblers because both of them tried to steal a possession.
They did.
That's why the Rams went for it on the fake field goal. They faked the field goal. That's why Sean Payton went for it early in the ball game. He knows what this team represents. He's like, nah, kicking a field goal and punting the ball, not going to help us win. One team was 3 of 8 on third down. The other team was 7 of 12.
All right, D'Angelo, thank you for joining us. Let's move from the NFC to the AFC. The Steelers, have they turned a corner? Are they starting to look like a Super Bowl contender? We'll discuss that next.